All right, so you made it from the first week, and now you're here on to the second week. Now we're going to be discussing a concept called fading, or you're basically watching the momentum, or if you want to call it the strength. You're trying to see when the strength is dying of a movement. Okay, so amongst many other things, this is one of my favorite topics because I just love to see how one side of the market just gives up. So using the knowledge you've acquired from the previous week on buyers and sellers, now we're gonna step up your game a little bit more. Okay. Now I hope you've practiced and practiced and practiced from the last information. We're gonna do the same here. We're gonna practice and practice and practice with this next additional piece. Okay. So let's get straight into it. Now, this one, what we're talking about is gauging momentum, right? So we're looking at Euro USD on a daily chart. This can be applied to any time frame, if that's a concern. Now, what I want you to do is first, let's say we're looking at this as a sell market. Okay, the market is coming down as a sell. You can see that downtrend coming in, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, blah, 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 blah. Okay, once we create a lower low from here, you at this point now know that is seller's territory, right? Yes or no? Right. Now, if that's seller territory, let me mark this spot as boom. That's the area it had to break through, and the secondary piece, as we discussed, is the part where it starts from. Okay, these are the two spots we need to watch very carefully. He can break above the purple line, but it doesn't mean it turns into a buy, right? So keeping that in mind, we're watching how to gauge momentum. Okay, so we're watching this as in the seller's territory, and as the buyers start to step in, we can see, yeah, the buyers have some momentum, but they're in the seller's zone. Now, we're trying to add in that extra phase of, okay, but what does that mean for me? How can I trade using that information, right? Now, watch very carefully. Now, the market keeps rising and rising and rising, and then it crashes. That means it's still in seller's territory. He never goes above. He challenges that circle, but it never goes above. Goes up again, challenges, drops. Goes up again, challenges, tries to break it, but comes right back down. That means that's a faker. With all the sequences now, I want you to watch how to fade on momentum. Okay, so let's start from here. Okay, let's say the buyers are kicking in, and as they're going long, notice the distance from here to here. Okay, he goes a bit, and then he retraces. Now think in your mind or say it out loud as I ask you guys this question. How much percentage of a retracement is that? Okay, some of you might say 40, some of you guys might say 50% retracement. Okay, good. A 50% retracement is not a 100% retracement. A 50% retracement means there's still movement. After the 50% retracement, they push harder. As they push harder, it retraces how much? 10, 15, 20%? Now, compare that to the first push. He got stronger. The momentum got stronger. There's more power to this fellow. The next push, he makes it slightly higher. Does he go higher? Not necessarily. He just comes right back down. And how much is that retracement? 80%. 80%. If this was the move that he started from down here and he blasted up there and he came down to here, that's 80%. Which means the strength of his speed is slowing down. Okay? This concept I like to share with some of my elite members is basically imagine as if you're that person running from here and there's a rubber band attached to your stomach. You can run as far as you can, and then the rubber band pulls you back when you're tired. And then you run even more, like right here, but anyone who's watching you and he's understanding there's a rubber band around you, can he say you have more strength when he sees that? Absolutely, right? You're like, oh, he went way further than last time when he rested. Look at how much he rested. Oh, just a tiny bit. But then he tried to push further again. What happened? He rested a lot. He couldn't even go further, much really further, right? He barely beat his own record from his last time. And then he rested a lot. He's like, whoa, looks like he's approaching his limits now. Okay, this is how you gauge momentum in your brain. It's like, something's wrong. Something is wrong. He pushes up once again and still no higher high because he comes crashing right back down. He's losing momentum. Now, here we go. Here is the difficult part. Stage 1, never forget you're in the seller's territory. Stage 2, don't forget your momentum is dying. Okay? Your momentum is dying in the seller's territory. The buyers are fading, which means the rubber band man buying is slowly coming to its death. Now, as it's going up higher and higher, and then it comes crashing down, don't forget, just like we did seller's territory, let's do a miniature buyer's territory. Let's do a miniature buyer's territory. So he goes long, pulls back, holds a bit, goes long, breaches the spot. I'm going to put a dotted line for the breach. Breaches that spot. Okay? Once he breaches that spot, he goes up to this high, but he never goes higher. So we're not interested in moving the spot up here because this was the last spot. Okay? So if that's the last spot, he breaches that spot, he gets up to here, never goes any higher, and he comes crashing down. But he comes crashing down to where? Still in that mini buyer's territory. Because we're watching this and this little bitty circle of this guy. Right? That is all still in buyer's territory. Now, miniature buyer's territory in a big seller's territory. Good, good. Keep that in mind. Now, up until this point, what can you tell me about this rubber band man? Once he started dropping right here. You're going to be like, oh my God, this guy is nuts. He's out of balance. He's losing control, right? Well, what now? Well, what now? You watch his final run and seeing, okay, he's going to attempt one more time because he's maintaining grounds in his buyer's territory. Okay? Where he got fuel last time from. Maybe he drinks a Gatorade or something over there every time. Some of you might call it supply and demand. Some of you might call it support resistance. You think of it as an individual running. Don't confuse this with terminology and jargon that you don't understand. Think of a man running with a rubber band around his waist. So this is the spot where he gets momentum. He gets the momentum again and he does it one more time. And notice yet again around this area, he goes up, he rests 50%. Goes up, no higher high, rest 80%. Goes up, no higher high, he rests 100%. A complete failure even on his last attempt here. That is the moment when you can say, let's resume with the sell side. Let's resume with what we saw here. Let's resume with the miniature death as well, because all things point to the sell side. Okay? Now, this happens again. As it comes down, he comes back to the same spot where he bounces up from. Now, some of you might even think ahead, right? Because our brains are wired like that. Oh man, like, yeah, but that's that. Calm down. Just calm down. We're going to go through everything step by step. Keep an open mind, and I will walk you through the correct way to do things without jargoning your mind with all this excessive stuff that comes on the internet for Forex trading. And that's the reason why many people fail. Okay? So stay with me. Stay with me. I'm trying to be here with you as much as possible. I'm trying to help you out here. So in this whole process, as he comes down, the market yet once again starts to push north. Same situation happens. You read that rubber band man. He pushes north, rebounds 80%, pushes north even further, but rebounds 50%. But look at the push north here. Look at this push north. Looks like a lot smoother. Okay, but it took much longer. Okay, then he pushes north again, but then he comes crashing down. It's like he got a sudden boost of energy, but look at the speed he came crashing. Steroids? Maybe. Maybe. Think like that. It's okay to think like that. What is that? It's a fake. Well, what happened? What happened to his energy? He just came crashing back down. Now, he's above his SNR, support resistance, or he's above the area where he got that little steroid pill or his Gatorade. He pushes again, fails. He's still in that miniature buyer's territory right there. Right? You can see miniature buyer's territory right there. And as he goes up again, it's a second time like he did over here, right? his second turn when he starts to fight. He goes up again, slows down, goes up again, no higher high, comes crashing down. Yet once again, you're seeing, could this be the end of his reign? Now, this one comes with a dilemma. Earlier, you had your line down here. Now you have your line up here as a miniature guy. Okay? So, the first attempt for a sell is here. And as it comes down, you see the sell is not performing. The sell goes back up north. The buyers reattempt. But you know this is still seller's territory. You know every time this buyer gets up here, he gets knocked down. You know we're in an overall downtrend. You know that every buyer that comes up in this area gets faded. You use this information to your advantage and be like, he's still got momentum. Wait for it. Wait for it. He goes up, one last try, comes crashing down, and here we go. Now we're coming back to our original mini line here, which was this original mini SNR, right? Which is the mini buyer's area. That can be your target. That can be your target. But we're going to watch it carefully and see how well this sell performs. Because around this area, we want to see, can he break it? Do the same thing as a rubber band man now coming to the sell side. Watch the momentum on the sell side. You can do it here too. Look at this. Look at the sell side. Look at the retracement. Look at the sell side. Not very healthy. Look at the retracement. Look at the sell side. Very strong, but fake. Comes right back. Do the same on this side. Watch the sell side, rubber band man. See how far he gets there. Strong, healthy. Strong, healthy. Retracements. Now look at the retracements. The pushes get weaker and the pullbacks get deeper. We're coming to a halt because now this big circle that we see here, his whole bottom area is here. This could be the bottom of his range. So you caught the major move here. You caught some minor moves here. Okay, some minor profit and loss here and some major profit and loss here. As long as you're able to withstand this. So the reason why I'm going to show you this with more and more examples is I want you to understand that at some points there is going to be a final push from that guy. So don't be stingy on your stop losses. Okay, don't be so generous either. Okay, with practice you will understand how much of a stop loss do you need. So a common question is, where do I put my stop loss? Where do I put my take profit? We're going to get into that all piece by piece, slowly. I want you guys to master this fading first. Okay, fading the momentum or gauging the momentum. Okay, and as it comes down towards the end, his reign comes to a halt. Okay, so on to the next example. All right, so you made it from the first week and now you're here on